everybody. How we doing today? Welcome to the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences San Francisco, Northern California chapter of the Gold and Silver Circle Annual Induction Luncheon. Today we proudly honor and recognize 7 of the best in the business. Hard work, dedication, service to our community makes them worthy to be inducted to our very own Hall of Fame. I'm Brooks DeRose, the chapter president. It is my honor to welcome you all here today. While we have lots of veterans joining us, we also have 7 very talented students. There are 2024 collegiate scholarship recipients. In fact, $20 of every ticket that was sold today goes to our scholarship fund. You are helping invest in the future of professionals in our business, so thank you for that. Let's give our scholarship recipients a round of applause. Glad you guys are all here today. We'd also encourage everyone here to participate in our Mentor Match program. If you haven't heard about this, for most of us who have done this for a long time, it's actually a chance for us to give back. For our young professionals, it's a chance to really be a sponge. So please take advantage of the Mentor Match program. There's a QR code up there and in your program. Scan that. Become a mentor. If you want to be a mentee, students, please take advantage. Our chapter has been very busy this year because in June of 2025, our annual Emmy Awards Gala will be in Sacramento. We're moving. It's never been done before, and we've got a lot in store. The call for entries comes out on December 1st, and then the deadline is in early January. So get those entries ready to go. That major event recognizes excellence in television, but there is a new generation that will soon be walking across the Emmy stage. Some of them may be in the room with us today. So these all-star students that I mentioned before, they're going to be presented an unprecedented $25,000 in scholarships. So to kick off the presentation, please welcome Carrie Barber, our Education Committee Chairwoman.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm not as tall as Brooks. As he said, I'm Carrie Barber. I am the Education Chair, and I'm the Associate Dean at the University of Nevada, Reno. And I am so pleased to be with you all today and to present to these students. We had dozens of entries this year. It was a lot of entries. And they came from 16 different universities in our region and colleges. And so this was a very competitive process. The winners were judged by at least more than 7 judges in the industry. So this was a very difficult, and these stories are amazing. I think you're going to get to see a little sneak peek of what they did, but really difficult, challenging, and important stories that they are producing. I'm so proud that we were able to award $25,000 in total to these 7 students. And first off, are we ready?
We use the term Laney built, right? Are we making our players better? Are we helping them get to the next level? We have a 92% graduation transfer rate. Well, that hasn't wavered. So we want to maintain that and keep doing so. That's success to me. Obviously, we want to get back to bowl games and playing in the state championship. For us, we got to do a better job of recruiting. We got to hold the kids accountable, and we got to get some guys in here that are willing to do what it takes to be the best.
I'm 36 years old. I was sentenced to 25 years to life for first-degree murder, a crime I committed when I was 15. In the next couple months, August 8th to be exact, I will be appearing before parole board for the first time after 21 years. In this parole hearing, I will basically be asked a series of questions to determine whether I'm suitable for release.
Y yo le digo, ay, no nos vamos a ver hoy, me dice. Pero mucho que él se viniera también de la forma, no supe de él en una semana. Mientras él estaba preso yo no tenía mente, que yo no supe que él estaba anémico, que se desmayaba, que no comía. El policía habla español y le dije que, ¿por dónde entraste tú? Por el río. Bueno, no sabes que es un crimen. Tú eres una criminal, están aquí para que sean devueltos.
A farm is a place where a family lives its life. The land is something that you leave to your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. We're all working very hard on making sure that the voters vote no, that they will lose the election that's coming up. And it's a really vile situation, but we can win.
让人不安，我不太开心，这让我想起了我的阿泰。他走时是我亲手护送的遗体，亲人们在车旁哭得稀里哗啦。在那之前，死亡似乎离我很远。我在举行的前一天横竖睡不着，一直到5点才堪堪迷糊。不知道为什么，我的心里总回荡着“无名骨灰”4个字。
The VTA and the Sheriff's Department are asking the community for help. They're encouraging users, if you see anything suspicious, to report it immediately. You can call or you can report using the VTA app.
In a unanimous vote yesterday, Associated Students passed a boycott resolution that calls for AS funds to stop contributing to companies such as Dell and HPE that help to supply Israel.
Artists around the Bay Area aim to take back the Filipino narrative through their work. One local artist, Chichai, hopes to use her art as a platform for Filipino stories to be shown.
Growing up, we were not represented, Like, I didn't see any artwork that felt like me, that I could see me in, or my mom, or any loved ones in that artwork. So I know the importance of that feel-good feeling when you see yourself represented, but also represented well and by people like you.
So first of all, the first clip that you guys saw was from Eric Fieldhouse. Eric Fieldhouse won the Peter Mariano Jr. Memorial Undergraduate Production Scholarship. Please come up, Eric. The second award was Shaw Stepter. Shaw Stepter won the Rigo Chacon Undergraduate Reporting Scholarship. Please come up, Shaw. The next award is for Pamela Martinez. Pamela won the Miss Nancy Best Memorial Graduate Production Scholarship. Please come up, Pamela. The next student is Zane Karam. Zane won the Jerry Jensen Memorial Graduate Journalism Scholarship. Please come up, Zane. And Ethan Wu. Ethan won the Linda Giannichini Memorial Professional Development Scholarship. Please come up, Ethan. And the Fred Zender Memorial Undergraduate Journalism Scholarship went to Madison Wilbur. Finally, the Louise Jojorian Memorial Overall Excellence Scholarship went to Janelle Odisea. And thank you all. This was really beautiful work you all did. We were so impressed. The judges were so impressed with the topics you chose, the quality of your work, and your own essays, background, and personal stories. So thank you for sharing those with us. We're going to take one final picture with the whole group.
And congratulations once again to all of our scholarship winners. Let's give them one final round of applause. We're going to do something a little bit different this year. Each year, the Board of Governors considers potential recipients for the Governor's Citation. The award recognizes outstanding and unique achievements or accomplishments that don't fall under the chapter's regular awards. Now, typically, this award is given out during our annual awards gala, but the recipient couldn't be with us this past year. So today, we're going to proudly honor Patty Zuboff with the Governor's Citation. At this time, I'd like to welcome our chapter treasurer and past president, Steve Schlitzky, to present this citation. Steve.
Thanks, Brooks. I'm very happy to be able to present this citation, the Governor's Citation Award, to my friend, Patty Zuboff. When I was president, she helped me tremendously with a lot of things that I wanted to do on the board, and to bring back some things we used to do, like mentor match. She basically engineered that as the marketing chair and as the membership chair. Bring back member match, and those of you who don't know what it is, it combines maybe older members, more experienced members with younger members in the industry. Patty has also helped with creating member mixers. We've had mixers in Hawaii and Sacramento and Fresno. We just did a mixer recently in Monterey. And we also did a number of shows on diversity, a number of webcasts on diversity, and she was very, very helpful in organizing those as well.
So we have a video to show. Let's roll that video right now.
So at this time, I would like to present Patty with the Governor's Citation, have her come up here and receive the Governor's Citation.
Just quickly. Thank you. It's beautiful, isn't it? thank you to all of the governors who made it happen. I've been so proud to be on the Board of Governors and meet so many people and network with so many people through the Board of Governors and through our NADIS events. Thank you, Daryl, that always makes these things happen. Daryl Compton, hardest working man, right? Exactly. Thank you, Steve. And Brooks, our president. It's just been amazing working with the energy, and that's why we encourage more people to join the governors, the Board of Governors. And thank you to my husband, who's running camera back there, Boris Zuboff. Thank you. Can't forget that. And just thank you for any membership information, any tips that you'd like for membership, because we're just making this up. Like, I wanted to go see Hamilton because I hadn't seen it, so I made an event happen to have us all go see it at a discount and had a production person do a Q&A. So, you know, we make it up. So anything you want to have Natus do, help us make it up. That's it. Thank you. Enjoyed lunch.
So now it's time for the main event, and I'd like to welcome Joyce Mitchell. She is our chair for the Gold and Silver Circle Committee.
Oh, you animals, you. Welcome here. I absolutely love this event. This is family. I know that we do the Emmy, we do the gala. It's a wonderful, wonderful event also. This is our other event. And I welcome you all because this is so exciting. Welcome to the new inductees of the class of 2024. A round of applause for everybody being inducted. The Silver Circle started in 1986, and we now have 304 members of the Silver Circle. I know, it's a wonderful thing because we all are family, we mentor one another, we help one another, we are there for one another. I must thank Terry Lowry, who was the goddess guiding the way, and big shoes to fill for me, and so I don't even try. What I do is I come up here and I do my very, very best to hold up to her standard, to stay positive, to stay loving, to stay compassionate, and to stay wonderful for all of you. That's what this is about. This room is about love. I know it sounds a little corny, but that's what this is about in this industry. 25 plus years. It's not just about time spent. It's about what you've done for others, for the community, for students, for mentoring, the difference that you've made. 50 years. We've got a Gold Circle today. We don't have inductees into the Gold Circle. That was started in 2002, and we now have 30 members for the Gold Circle. Next year, we'll have someone who hangs in for 50 years, with Jim Lynch. David Louie! No. David Louie! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Congratulations, 50 years, wow. Well, I don't know, I think it's Christine Hansen's coming up on 50 as we celebrate her today. And I think it was 1975 that I started or something like that. I think. Anyway, it's a long time. We are the survivors, and it's a wonderful thing to be here. I thank Terry Lowry again. We're going to look at a few of the people who have passed in our circles. This is going to be a hard one for us, for Mike Lowry, for Stan Peckner, for Julia Goodrich, for a lot of us from Channel 13, because it does include our wonderful friend, my photographer, Kevin Wynn, your photographer, Ken Day. So let's take a moment for the in memoriam in memory of Linda Giannicani.
It's been a fairly quiet day out here on the bay. It's getting a little wet now, heading back.
In San Francisco, this is Jack Hansen for Channel 7 News.
The losses are especially hard because we are a family. We get to know each other, we cross the miles, we go far away, but we don't leave one another behind. We stay connected. I remember I was teaching at Sac State, taught there for 16 years, and this guest speaker from KCRA came in, and she was speaking at Steve Swatt's class, and I said, wow, I've seen her on TV. She is some kick-ass reporter. Wow. And now she's an anchor. And I would like to invite our MC up here, who is a wonderful broadcast journalist and a dear, dear friend and a member of my family, Edie Lambert, KCRA.
Well, it is such an honor to serve as your MC, and I can tell you the San Francisco, Northern California chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences is absolutely delighted to introduce the Gold and Silver Circle class of 2024. As you know, today we are honoring a honor society of professionals who've been actively engaged in television broadcasting for 25 years or more, the Silver Circle. But this is really not just about the years. Members have made a significant contribution to their local television markets. They have distinguished themselves within this industry and within their communities. Silver Circle inductees are, as I'm sure you've heard, elected by the current Silver Circle members. And as Joyce just said, this year we're not adding new members of the Gold Circle, but the Gold Circle members are chosen by the Chapter Board of Governors. So just take a second to look around the room, because this is really a who's who of NorCal broadcast journalism. It is an impressive group. And as a member of the Silver Circle class of 2018, I have to say that every single year I feel even more proud to be part of this group, and truly impressive, talented people enlarging our circle, and to watch that happen again today is really a point of pride, I think, for all of us who are in the Silver Circle. So we are celebrating journalists, news managers, meteorologists, sports announcers, and those who blend technology, reporting, and an artist's eye with their photography and their editing. And as we honor each new member of the Silver Circle, it's really a time that we are celebrating this work and the work that serves our communities and the impact that it has when someone strives for excellence for decades. It is really a beautiful model to follow. And at the heart of the Silver Circle is really a deep commitment to good journalism and honoring those who have been that champion for their entire careers and for their communities. We're also celebrating deep friendships and deep relationships that are forged in our newsrooms and out in the field, in the pressure cooker of breaking news and investigative work and those nonstop TV news deadlines. One reason that I am delighted to be here right now is that one of our inductees I've known since I was 19 years old, an intern. Whoa, I know that was a super long time ago. Fair enough.
Yeah, I was an intern at KUIT in Santa Barbara, and John and Kevin would come down from the big market, Fresno, and we'd have to look really, extra professional when they came down. And anyway, these friendships run so deep, and I'm just so delighted to be here. I also want to thank all of you for being here. Brooks mentioned this, but we are all here to support our friends and our colleagues and our families, but part of everything that we're doing here supports the next generation. All of this goes to, or part of this goes to the NATA Scholarship Fund, and I was thinking about the fact that what we're doing right now may really be supporting the Silver Circle class of 2049. So, with luck, that's what we're doing right now. So it is my pleasure to start this as we are inducting James Huntington, presented by Leanne Melendez, the Silver Circle class of 2010. She joined ABC7 back in 1994 as a general assignment reporter. She brings years of experience to KGO, along with so many honors and awards that reflect her many accomplishments. She came from CNN Spanish in New York, where she worked as a senior correspondent and a fill-in anchor. She's also worked at stations in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And right now, in addition to, I'm sure, a million other things, she covers the AIDS and education beats in the Bay Area.
Okay. Oh, my long list of things here. There we go. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. So, James Huntington. Wow. He is by far one of the most deserving people I know to be inducted into the Silver Circle. He's done it all. So Jim, who is very modest, emailed me his career history a while back. So I think I have it around here. Oh, yep. Here it is. I found it. Yeah. So let's take a look. 1977. Oh my God. You've been around, Jim. Bellington, Bakersfield. Bakersfield. Anchor, reporter, assignment manager, producer. Wow, do they have anybody else at that station? Bakersfield. Yep. Okay. KBC, Los Angeles, KMBC. All right, so Jim, I'm going to put this over here because we brought something else. We brought the world according to Jim Huntington. Are you ready? So Jim came to us in 2003 as an assignment desk manager after we lost Bill McGee. And it was very hard because Bill at KGO was very, very loved. But Jim won us over because the man, he's sometimes funny, can be a pain in the ass, and is quirky, which is a plus at KGO. So one thing you learn very quickly about Jim is that he has a very unique and special way of pronouncing certain things, whether intentionally or not. So we call it the dictionary of made-up words. So in the morning meeting, for example, we all love when the salmon season opens up because Jim says happily, the salmon season. Salmon, as in that fish you guys just ate, salmon. Here's another. A follow-up to a story isn't a follow-up. No. In Jim's world, it's a follow. A follow, remember? Every time he wants to clarify something, he begins with FYI. FYI, everybody. FYI. I just know that what he really wants to say is, fuck you, idiots. Did I just say that? Let's forget about that one. One of our producers reminded me that Jim, most of the time, has one level of excitement, one way of talking, and he's always stuck on high. So, for example, he'll be in the middle of the newsroom and he says, breaking news, everybody! There is a bomb threat happening right now at City Hall. 5 minutes later, he'll come back to the newsroom and say, listen up, everybody! They're serving chicken burritos today for lunch. That's Jim. So one of the requirements of an assignment desk manager is to really understand your people, your team. He's the one person who has to deal with all our personalities and our drama. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. I often say that to work in news, you have to have taken several classes in psychology to deal with people. I truly believe that Jim hasn't told us that he has a PhD in human behavior. Personally, I love that he always does the right thing, meaning he always listens to his wife, Joyce. She's taller than him. Have you seen her? One day I came to him and I said, you know, Jim, I'm not feeling it today. I can't. I haven't slept. I'm really tired. I can't produce today. You know, menopause. He didn't laugh. He wasn't surprised. He understood again because Joyce taught him well. And then the man with a PhD in human behavior said, Leanne, you know there is a patch for that. Thank you, Jim. I didn't know. He's our expert in everything rock and roll, the only man who threatened to take Ben Fong Torres' job away from him. When someone passes, Jim always writes the hits and runs of that person. He's gone to a Rolling Stones concert 9 times and has seen the Grateful Dead about 40 times. And to this day, we all thank him for not wearing patchouli. He's also an amazing father to 3 exceptional adults. He is so proud of them, and he brings his knowledge of fatherhood to the newsroom, really. My son, I remember, was in Chicago his first year in college when his appendix burst. And after he had to have emergency surgery, my son called me and said, Mom, very groggy, I want to deal with this by myself, don't come. And I came to, I have a bell for that too. I remember Jim saying to me, Leanne, he will always remember that surgery and he will never forget that you were there for him. Thank you, Jim, for that. And I took the first plane to Chicago. Finally, Jim has a tradition at KGO. When, as a station, we beat the competition, I mean, it has to be really big, he brings out his captain hat on. And then rings a bell to let everybody know how proud he is of his team. So let's put our captain hats on, stand up and cheer and say, "Oh, Captain, my captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won. The port is near. The bells I hear. The people all exulting. Jim Huntington, welcome to the Silver Circle." Woo!
Hey guys, there's breaking news.
Breaking news? Where's Jim?
Jim is the breaking news. Breaking news from ABC7, veteran news wrangler, reporter, producer, assignment manager, the great Jim Huntington, inducted into the Natus Silver Circle. Let's take a look at Jim's epic career. It all started with a big voice at a little radio station in Washington State.
Good morning. It's 7 o'clock. I'm Jim Huntington reporting with KBFW News.
Then California called and Jim brought stories to life as a television reporter in the Central Valley.
You can sure tell these guys have a lot of pride in their work. Delano farmer Brian Blackwell says you can tell the nuts are ripe when the holes turn pink. It also gives the American public a chance to see how their tax dollars are being spent. The Christmas message is still the same. It's always better to give than to receive.
He crossed paths with some other ABC7 legends-to-be.
Tonight, the story of a Bakersfield couple taken in by a COD scheme. Times change, and so do jukeboxes.
And soon, Jim made the rounds in Los Angeles as a managing editor and producer at KCBS, KCAL, KNBC, and of course, our sister station, KABC.
Jack, how are we doing? 6:30, I wanted to go with the tornado stuff. That's a good lead.
Now, Jim is the heart of the ABC7 newsroom. His finger on the pulse of every story with so much local knowledge that you'll still see and hear him on air from time to time.
What do people need to know if they just have a telephone? Who do they call?
So Jim, we are all celebrating you across California today.
When Jim comes in the morning is when he brings that big Jim energy. Congratulations!
You are amazing at what you do, and you're always kind and respectful to everyone you encounter.
Congratulations, Jim. Hutch Dog, love you, man. On behalf of ABC7 here in LA, we're so happy for you.
Congratulations, Jim. You're the calm in the stormy weather.
Hutch, I didn't think you were old enough to be in the Silver Circle, but this is a big deal. Congratulations.
Congratulations. We are so happy for you.
Wait, we're letting Jim into the Silver Circle knowing he's a devoted Dodgers fan? Who's in charge of this?
Well, almost all of us.
You don this fine outfit, and that's how you get inducted.
Jim, you not only help us build a better Bay Area, you make us better.
You are a leader and a mentor with the biggest heart. Your news intuition is unmatched. I love it when you come into my office and you say, "Sister, we got a big honkin' story and we're kicking ass on it." We are a strong, smart newsroom because of you, Hutch Dog. Thank you.
One of the things about working in this crazy business for so long is you get to meet spectacular people like Jim. There's nobody like him. Jim, you are a true gem of a human being. Congratulations on the Silver Circle.
Congratulations, Jim!
In Bakersfield, from Woody, in Bodfish, Jim Huntington.
This is Jim Huntington reporting live, ABC7 News in Oakland.
Whoa. Hey, thank you all. First of all, I want to thank everybody from the Academy, Natus, the voters. It's such an honor. I'm really thrilled to death to be here right now, seeing everybody, speaking to everybody. Thank you, all the Channel 7 gang, everybody sitting here in front of me, the retired folks, and all of the people that are in the Silver Circle, and then our table over here. Tom, thank you for bringing your network tool to San Francisco. My brother Tom, my son Will, Shelly, Amy, Jennifer, family, friends. Joyce, you're the best. Thank you very much. My wife Joyce, we met at a television station in Bakersfield. We've been married 35 years, and some of you may not know that she is the executive producer at KNTV at NBC, and she is a hell of a EP and a hard worker. You make it all happen, honey. I love you. All right? Gee, being here in San Mateo County is kind of different. I hope the Board of Supervisors doesn't try to shut this meeting down. All right, a little timeless joke there. Anyhow, let's skip right to, everything from starting at a daytime radio station that was broadcast from sunrise to sunset up in Bellingham. 1,000 water. Going to Bakersfield, being the farm reporter at $650 a month in radio, meeting John and Kevin, I've run into these guys on the trail everywhere. Working as a producer in Los Angeles was over the top. Being in the control room, I was the producer of both O.J. Simpson trial verdicts, the second Rodney King verdict. We worked hard during the unrest that followed the first verdict, the Northridge earthquake, the North Hollywood shootout. It was just unbelievable to be sitting in the booth and seeing history unfold. I came up here to KGO, and I want to thank Kevin Keeshan for offering me the job, and I want to thank Tracy Watkowski, our incredible news director. She is a real news professional and a hell of a broadcast journalist, and I'm honored to be working with her also. So that's what I do. I sit at my perch at KGO at 900 Front Street, and now I'm no longer in the control room. I'm in the center of the newsroom. And I've seen a lot of stories since I've been here in 23 years. I even wrote down all the slugs, but I can't find them now. But you guys know what they are, and they're things called like Asiana, San Bruno, Robin Williams, Ed Lee, Santa Rosa fire, Napa earthquake. When you move to San Francisco or the Bay Area, and you're in the news business, you better be thinking about the big one, because it's always lurking in the back of my mind. But I found out that the big one came 5 years ago, and it was the pandemic. And all of a sudden, we had to change our entire model on how we operated. And it was a frightening time. It was scary. Nobody really knew what the hell was going on. Tom, thank you again for your leadership during what was semi-crisis in the newsroom. Every TV station in town. Everybody got sent home to work. I tried it for one day and hated it. And that was it. We went through a year of reporters and photographers no longer writing together like they did when, Mike and Kathy and George and everybody was, back in the day. Everybody had to adapt to a new thing. All of a sudden, I'm not making one phone call to the crew. I got to make 2 calls because they're in separate vehicles. And it was, they were having trouble finding places to go to the bathroom. And it was just an incredible, trying experience, having to take sick calls from people and being instructed to kind of ask them, hey, do you have it? And normally we don't ask people why they're calling out sick, but it just became such an ordeal. And eventually, no matter where you stand in the entire, COVID and the vaccine world, the vaccine came. It's been 5 years, which is hard to believe. And I just want to say that during that time, that first year, that I really thought that our station, your station, every station, local news was not dead on arrival. Local news was where you get all of your information for something that was as frightening as the pandemic. And our station and every radio station and every TV station played a huge role in helping people get through that ordeal. And I am very proud of the work that we did. And that's really how I want to end my speech. I just thought I would give a shout out to our industry for doing a very good job under very difficult circumstances. And, that's what we do sometimes. And this award means a lot to me, so thank you very much.
Our next inductee is Lisa White, who is presented by Juliette Goodrich. And it feels like 2 minutes ago that you were up here being honored. She's class of 2023 for the Silver Circle. Juliette is a local girl. She started her broadcasting career reporting from Channel 30 in her hometown of Pleasanton. After reporting and anchoring in Redding, Chico, and Sacramento, this Emmy award-winning reporter and Bay Area native then joined KPIX in 1997. And she's done a lot of jobs over the years and currently serves, as I'm sure you all know, as their main anchor. She has written 5 children's books, and the proceeds from those books benefit local reading and writing programs. And also, I didn't get a bell.
Not about me.
Also, she's a badass with a black belt in Taekwondo, so go,
Get
it's fine.
out.
Oh my God.
This is now this is your life. It really is, because you look around and, you know, from all of the years of being in this business, and Lisa, this must be so special, because it truly is. It's your work family. It is your family. It's so much. When you get to this point, it has been a lot of your life, correct? John Breedlove, so great to see you, and congratulations to you. Lisa White, where do we begin? How many of you have worked for Lisa White, with Lisa White? It's remarkable. And I look back at when I first met you. I just had come back from maternity leave from my firstborn 24 years ago. She comes into KPIX, and I'll never forget, the late Doug Murphy says to me, "Jules, I think we're gonna like her because I can make her laugh. And we'll like the other guy too, Dan Rosenheim." And they were our team for so long. I've observed her in so many situations over the years, and I think we can all agree, because we all in our package that Molly McRae produced, we tried to come up with one word. What would be that one word for Lisa? And there's kind of a collective thought: calm, zen. And I was observing her this week, and it's like she glides. She kind of glides through the newsroom. She'll sit and talk to you, and then she'll go talk to somebody else. I've never heard her raise her voice. Marina, has your mother ever yelled at you? No. Never. It is an art. And like so many in our industry who crave the spotlight, who need to be out in front, she is behind the scenes managing the ship. And also, I've seen her come and interact with so many managers, general managers, news directors. And it's kind of like a trust the timing of your life. There were moments when we all thought collectively that Lisa should have been our news director at one point. She wasn't moved up the ranks. We had somebody else. He's not here. And then there was this moment in time when finally Lisa White is our news director at Channel 5. So many people were so happy to see her guide our ship. And I just was reminding her this week, it's really a trust the timing of your life, because this is the timing that you want to be at our station with our innovation, our creativity. We're having fun. And that's unusual to say. We work hard and we're creating. So it's enlightening to see, and it was just the perfect timing for you. I've also seen her sit in her office, and she's always got someone across her desk, and they're in an in-depth conversation, and we all know they're not really talking about maybe the story of the day or a schedule. This person across from her is talking about probably something very personal, and she sits and she listens, and she's sometimes her legs are crossed, crisscross applesauce. She's thinking, she's kind of in this yoga pose. And she's really a therapist of sorts. And I confirmed that with Molly, her sister. I said, is that your sister? And she said, yes. And it just carries through our newsroom. And so, you know, unlike all of us in our newsroom who are go, go, move, loud, this, that, and the other, you are the calm. And we so appreciate that. You've made it through, and in this story, you'll be able to see how you kind of transcended from just starting out in this business like we all have to where you are today, and we truly hope you stick with us for a while. But when you go, all right, how did Lisa White get us to where we are today, and how did you get to where you are today? Well, my sources tell me, and Molly, as her younger sister, maybe you can confirm this, I believe it all began in a barn. Roll the tape.
So what word would describe Lisa White?
Dedicated.
Wise.
Grace.
I would say nurturer.
It's not a word, really. It's a feeling. It's like a vibe or an aura.
Indefatigable. How about that?
Caring. I would use fierce.
As cliche as it sounds, is hero.
Zen.
Zen.
So zen. Calm.
Until, of course, you get to the details. Boy, does she like her details, and there's nobody better at it. She'll be like, okay, look here, sister. Page 12, paragraph 3, article C, that's the way it is. And she'll be right.
She's compassionate. She's understanding. She wants to get the best out of us. In short, Lisa White is the whole package.
Born in New Hartford, Connecticut, Lisa is the eldest of 3 children.
We lived in a tobacco barn on 12 acres, a beautiful, bucolic, lovely setting.
Having watched her grow from that little girl to where she is today, it's no surprise. Just inspiring.
Lisa studied dance, worked her way through college, and graduated from Vassar with a degree in psychology before heading west. Once in Seattle, without any experience, she convinced a news director to give her a chance.
She had the overnight shift at King 5, and so she never saw the sun.
The organized chaos was exactly where Lisa wanted to be. At King TV, Lisa met her future husband, Mark. After 6 years of producing the news, she headed to San Francisco and Cron.
Lisa is a natural leader, and our news director had to just leave without notice, and Lisa really took over the newsroom. But Lisa took us over and led us through, and the ratings actually increased.
After 10 years at Cron, in 2000, Lisa came to KPIX as the assistant news director, where she continued to help us all glide through a lot of change. A lot of change.
As I walked through the doors at 855 Battery on January 4th, 2022, it was Lisa White who greeted me on my first day. She was kind, she was professional.
In 2022, Lisa was named vice president and the first female news director at CBS News Bay Area.
Lisa runs the newsroom with 3 things: professionalism, top quality journalism, and a warm heart for her people.
She's also the mother of Marina and Corey.
Mom, you're an absolute inspiration to me, and I am just so proud to be your daughter.
Congratulations on an awesome career that you continue to kick butt at. You just continue to be my role model.
As for our newsroom, Lisa is family.
If you asked a lot of people, you would find that Lisa is one of the more beloved people in our business.
It was at KPIX where I found stability and saw the biggest growth as a reporter. Thanks in part to you for trusting in me.
So many bosses lead through intimidation or fear, and Lisa is the exact opposite of that. She really helps all of us become the best versions of ourselves.
My trusted friend and colleague, now for 26 years. I salute you. Congratulations.
Sending you love and big hugs. I want to be like you when I grow up.
Don't we all? Congratulations, Lisa White, and welcome to the Silver Circle.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Juliet, and thank you, Molly McRae, for producing that video, tricking all those people into talking to you. And for everything that you and Juliet and Stephanie and all of your colleagues at KPIX do for our newsroom. It's really amazing. And I have been really fortunate to work with so many great people at KPIX and at Cron over the last 35 years, some of whom I see today. You know, we work really long, difficult hours. It's stressful. And I do find that things generally go better when we support each other. So, yes, that is important to me. Okay, when I got this email from Daryl about this honor, I just froze. I was like, what is happening? I'm not ready for the dinosaur club. But the truth is, the honest truth is that I can remember being mesmerized by all those images coming out of the little black and white TV when I was a girl, of the Vietnam War and the protests and the assassinations and a man walking on the moon. I never dreamed that I would be working in that little box. But years later, I fell into it quite by accident. And my first big story at Cron was the Oakland Hills fire. And I had seen, smoke rising in the sky, and I flew into work, and I found myself in the control room shouting fragments of sentences into Pete Wilson's ear. That guy was amazing. You could give him 2 facts, and he could talk for an hour. It was amazing. And then there were so many stories that followed. As you mentioned, the fires, the floods, the drought, the dot-com boom and bust, the skylines, 6 different mayors, so much. And I love being a part of documenting all the change that we've had in the Bay Area over these years, and doing it in a job where time flies every day, and where I get to work with people who are smart and engaged and who are devoted to storytelling and to finding truth. So one of those people is my former news director, Dan Rosenheim, who was my partner in crime for 20-something years. He came from print, so he lived under this delusion that he needed me, which was great job security, and it allowed me and my husband to raise our children in one place, possibly the best place in the country, and give them the stability and some of the material things that I never had as a child, which is why I never left to try to go be a news director anywhere. And then along came Scott Warren, who made me one late in my career. And let me tell you, it is a wild ride with that one, who firmly believes that we need to find a very different way of doing things to win back viewers for local news. And so as a result, as of last month, we have no more hard set in our station. We have 2 studios that are completely virtual. We're undertaking a different way of gathering and prioritizing and presenting news. And we're going all in on streaming, both locally, and we're also producing 3 hours for the CBS National stream every day. So there's a lot of chaos and excitement and forward momentum at our station, and I'm really grateful to be part of it. And finally, I just want to say thank you to my family, all of whom know a little bit more about some of you than you might imagine. And who have been so flexible and supportive and patient, and I thank you. Thank you.
Don't forget. Our next inductee is Christine Hansen, presented by Joyce Mitchell, Silver Circle class of 2012, and our Gold and Silver Circle chair. Thank you so much. Passion is really what drives Joyce, and I think everyone in this room knows it. Couple that with nearly 50 years of experience as a journalist, and she really strives to produce memorable TV programs that make a difference, not just in the community or around the state or the nation, but around the world, which is so impressive. She has 7 regional Emmy Awards and the Governor's Award, the highest honor that Natus can bestow. She started her career with us at KCRA back in 1975. She produced the 11 o'clock news for 13 years, then went to CBS 13, where she worked on special projects for 10 years. After that, off to PBS, and then opening her own business, For You Productions, TV Rebels with a Cause. And I just want to thank you as you come up here for your tireless work to lift up and promote and shine a spotlight on the very best in our business and everything you do to promote and celebrate excellence. Thank you.
Thank you, darling. I am now adopting chair of the Dinosaur Club. I like it. I like it. It's an honor. This is an honor society, and therefore it is an honor to be here to introduce girlfriend Christine Hansen. Where do I begin? I mean, do I begin with the camping trip where we started out with backpacks and sleeping bags? I think we had on high heels. And we made it all about 10 minutes. By 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we finally got on the trail, we had to retire because of a huge downpour. I don't think the high heels helped. And Goodrich, how do you wear those? How do you walk in those things? 2 minutes. That's why we didn't make our hiking trip. 1975, we were two 25-year-olds. I was 25. Christine was a little bit younger than me. And we were starting at KCRA News. And it was male-dominated. There's no question. And as most of you know, Christine got her start in magazines. I was working in print. I had worked at the Capitol, the state Capitol, as a Capitol correspondent going back to school for my master's degree, and took an internship with KCRA, where I quickly met Christine. I knew nothing about her magazine career, knew nothing at all. All I knew is we were two people in there struggling to survive. We had no idea what an SOF was, sound on film. Probably no one here knows sound on film anymore. You know, of course. I guess we are the dinosaurs, so we must know SOF. And Christine and I kind of hung on to each other. She went her way. I went into news producing. I wanted to be the boss. I didn't want to be in front of the camera. I always said I wanted to be Stan Atkinson's boss. And he thought, you should be in front of the camera. I go, not going to do that. Christine was going to be a star. And combination of beauty and brains, or should I say brains and beauty, because Christine has surprised. Well, I don't know if it's any surprise. If you know Christine, you know how smart she is. You know how determined she is and what she has done for the community, what she has done for animals, what she has done for gardening. And she's a master gardener. She's an international real estate person. She's also a meteorologist and a great one. She was one of the first people to women to break into sports. She kicked down barriers for women, and I'm so proud of the work that you have done. I kind of did the same thing in news producing, and we did it alongside of Adrian Woodfork here. Adrian helped us, and it was because we were minorities in a newsroom. He saw us, he spotted us, and he took us under wing as another minority. And we're still here, we're still survivors. And 25 years recognition, 25 plus, and all that you have done for women. I am so proud to call you a friend. I am so proud of you that you've stayed, you have staying power. You're still really good at what you do. You're enthused by what you do, and you love what you do, Christine. It doesn't get any better than that. And they did put together, well, we all put together a little video of Christine's magazine background and her wonderful, successful career in television that continues on for as long as she wants it, according to the general manager. Let's take a peek at her video.
Meteorologist Christine Hansen, who's got this first Alert Action Day forecast. Hi there.
Hi there. Yeah, good time to make a run for it if you're headed to the Sierra over the next 24 hours.
Christine Hansen. She is a legend. My friend Christine Hansen. Hi, everybody. I'm Curtis Ming. I've been working next to Christine for more than 2 decades.
Yeah, I know.
And it's no secret how Christine's broadcasting career started. a big break in Playboy magazine as Miss September 1974. Yep, my good friend is a Playboy playmate. She was young, in college, and determined not to get typecast. With TV always her goal, Christine landed an internship with Sacramento's KCRA Channel 3. She started doing the weather, earned a degree in meteorology, and became even more of a household name, earning credibility and name recognition. Christine had her eye on the prize, live television, always. And most of the time it paid off, yet as we all know, when you're going live, especially doing a weather hit at the zoo, it's all fair game.
I went over to look at the giraffes. We had that new giraffe born just a week ago, and he's kind of poking his head out, but we couldn't get a very good shot of him. So we have the very hungry bears behind me tonight, of course.
Starting at Channel 3 in 1975, the male-dominated news environment was merely a challenge, but never an obstacle for Christine. After years of weather, she became one of the first women to cover sports, becoming a KCRA sportscaster.
A woman doing sports back in the 80s was in a hostile environment. Christine was removed from the football field by Bill Walsh for being a distraction by wearing a dress on the sidelines. She adjusted her wardrobe to fit in by wearing pants and shirts.
And for the first time as a 49er, he handled the ball with finesse.
And again, Christine, the sportscaster, tackled live TV with the same enthusiasm she had throughout her career.
Sauk State beat UC Davis in a hard-fought defensive David, game. I've got a great idea. How about bringing New Year's in with the splash?
Christine has done what no other broadcaster has done. She has worked at almost every single TV station in the San Francisco Bay Area and Sacramento. That includes KGO, KMTV, KFTY, and KTVU. There's still time, KPIX. And she has worked at every Sacramento TV station, including KXTV, KTXL, KMAX, and KOVR. She worked in radio, too, as chief meteorologist for Sonoma County's KZST for 25 years. And it was at KTVU where she earned an Emmy for her reporting on the program Our Town. While working in television, Christine simultaneously hosted the Dirt on Gardening for DIY Network and turned her attention to becoming a successful international realtor.
Are you trying to be a barrel racer?
Hi, I'm Tina Makua from Good Day Sacramento, and I've known Christine forever. She is family to me and a true professional when it comes to work. Congratulations, sis.
You enjoy that candy, Christine.
Well, I actually grabbed this one for you, Tina. This is the Reese's,
Yeah.
you know, the one little half
Thank
bite
you.
that you get
Yes.
from these Reese's now.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, that's what that was.
KOVR always knew Christine was a call away, and when we needed help in 2003, we called her up, and she's been here whenever we have needed her since. I've had the good fortune of working with her, and because she's so solid, Christine has made some lifelong TV friends. Here's former KCRA photographer, editor, and promotions producer, Deanne Owsley.
I loved working with Christine because you were, and you still are, always professional, very passionate about your job and the things that you were working on. You were willing to try new things. You embraced the changes, which is really fun. Good job, Christine. I'm really proud of you. You deserve this award.
Her list of friends and supporters goes on, and it's all for the big reason. Christine cares. She's been a mainstay in helping to build Sacramento's Valley broadcast legends, and caring is her legacy on top of her talent. It's why you see her here on CBS 13.
Hi! Hi!
I love working with you.
Thank you so much.
You are such an integral part of our weather team, and you're such an inspiration. I'm so glad you're here at the
Thank you.
station.
What an honor coming from our general manager after all these years. You know, it's going to be 50 years next year.
Oh my gosh.
Can I stay?
If you decide that you want to stay longer, there is always an open door for Christine Hansen.
Thank you so much. It means the world to me toward the end of my career like this.
Okay.
Not too
All
many
the
people
best.
get this opportunity, and thank you for giving that to me.
By the way, the polar bears, or the bears, is my weather newscast. My newscast. And what do you do as a producer sitting in the control room? Say, Christine, and what did you do?
Well,
we laugh, right?
Yeah, exactly. I never understood. We got live cameras, and we could never figure out how to do live news with them. So they sent us weather people out every single night somewhere. And that night, I couldn't go live in front of the monkeys. I don't know if anybody's been around when you turn a camera on a monkey.
Yes.
It's not air presentable at all. So I said the bears will be safe, and that's where we ended up. And I did get the world's crappiest live shot award for that. Yeah, that was, anyway, an honor to be here today. Thank you so much for this. I want to thank the Television Academy for this recognition, and I want to thank CBS 13, Deborah Kalura, General Manager, for hosting our table, my news director, Pete, our assistant news director, and Pete, when he found out this nomination came up, he goes, Christine, what can I do? How can I help you? Let's get this video put together. And I said, well, can you give me the best team we've got at CBS 13? Curtis Ming, Dennis Lopez, and Kevin Wing. Thank you. They put their heart and soul into somehow bringing all these years of TV to life. So thank you so much for that. I also need to thank Mike Domalog. He's not here today, but you know, he's such a busy guy, and he had to go through hours and hours to find that old, really old video. It goes back 50 years, so I appreciate that from Dami. And of course, Joycey, we had no idea what we were doing in 1975. We just showed up. We went from film to tape, and we didn't know what to do with it. We had live shots. We had opportunities that we didn't even know at the point would ever evolve. So thank you for this, Joyce. I so appreciate that. It has been a great journey. 50 years ago, I went through a lot of challenges, doing both weather and sports. And I think my legacy may be beginning to pave a trail for what we see today. We see women meteorologists. We see women sportscasters. Those careers were not available to us 50 years ago. And it took people starting in the business and just laying a track until we got to where we are today. And as you saw, as Joyce has pointed out on numerous occasions here, it did start from a magazine. And she said, you got to bring that up, because yes, it was a part of it. It may appear to be sexist, but it was always on my terms. And it was an amazing experience. And I went from making $1.35 an hour at Photomat to a multi-$1,000 scholarship from Playboy. And that's what ultimately put me through college, and probably is why I'm here today. So there was a purpose to everything. But the career itself, once I traveled with Playboy and then got our internship, we didn't know what to do, but I was fortunate enough that a door opened in the meteorology department with a guy named Harry Geis. We had 3 men that worked at the TV station, 1 anchor, 1 sportscaster, and 1 meteorologist. His name was Harry Geis. He was the first weathercaster in the country at WLS in Chicago. But more importantly, he had mentored with Drs. Crick and Dr. Stone. And these were meteorologists, as Mike Peckner, who's here with me today. And we learned from Drs. Crick and Stone. Those 2 people were memorable. They forecast D-Day weather. So we learned to draw maps. We learned to understand weather from the beginning, no graphics, drawing maps, at times with black Sharpies, and we were using paint thinner. I guess there was no HR back then, because it was a little interesting. But after weather, an opportunity came up for me to do sports. And sports was being backed up against the hour because ESPN came out in 1979. So people who were following sports, they went to that channel. So I wanted to do stories that my mom would watch. And I became the first woman for NBC to do traditional sports, but I continued to push to do stories that were something my mom would watch. So I'd be at spring training or opening day and ask a baseball player, what's your superstition today? He'd take off his hat and there'd be a penny taped in the inside of his hat. Or he'd take off his shoe and there would be a hole in his sock, something they've been doing since Little League. So I can continue, excuse me, to promote that, and I think enhanced our ratings as a result. Curtis Ming, as he alluded to in our video, called me. I got off the air at Fox 40 and goes, Hanson, I didn't know you were back in Sacramento from San Francisco. Why don't you come work for us? That was 11 years ago, and it was just supposed to be a couple of months. But I am so thankful for CBS 13 for having me, and this just being really the wonderful end to a spectacular career. And thank you so much for induction into the Silver Circle class of 2024. Thank you.
Our next inductee is my dear friend, John Breedlove. He is presented by my other dear friend, Dave Ramos, Silver Circle class of 2022. Dave started covering breaking news back in 1974, sometimes camping out, often traveling all across the state or even the country to get the story, always using integrity to get it right and always using kindness for everyone lucky enough to get to work with him. Dave started out operating an ENG truck for KCRA, then moved into satellite news gathering, and for nearly 50 years he produced remotes and covered just about every major sport and news event, not just locally but across the country, because that's how we do things at KCRA. And we miss you, Dave, as you're enjoying retirement. Something else quickly to know about Dave. In 2017, he traveled to Haiti to help dig and build freshwater wells, and he signed up for that after learning that 360,000 children a year die around the world because they don't have unsafe drinking water. That is children under the age of 5, which is to say that Dave has an enormous heart, just like the person he is introducing today, John Breedlove. So please help me welcome Dave Ramos.
Thank you, Edie. We've spent a lot of time together in wildfires, earthquakes, and Scott Peterson trial, as we all have. It's an honor today to be here. I'd like to introduce John, his wife Cindy, and his daughter Carrie, who is here today. John, throughout his broadcast career at KPWR, KMPH, KFSN, KOVR, and currently at KCRA. Sounds like he's can't hold a job. But we've all been there. John has demonstrated an elevated level of professionalism and proficiency at his craft. John continues to stay on top of the latest tools we use, making sure our work makes it to its destination, of course, on TV. He's a leader and is the first to offer mentoring help to those who ask for it. John is a private pilot and a drone pilot, a valuable skill in our business, no less. There are many members of our news team who are great at doing their job, and some are as skilled as John. But what separates John is you just like working with him. He never flinches at a hard assignment. He's first to offer a suggestion that will make a story stand out, and producers here will appreciate he understands the importance of making his slot. When a reporter is assigned to work with John, or in my case as a satellite truck engineer, and John shows up, you just know things will go as expected. I could go on, but I think we're going to watch John's video.
I always go back to the story, I was bad in math. I ended up having a great teacher, ended up becoming a very good mentor who got me through with a B in math, which is good for me. He was an amateur filmmaker, and I was already into making little movies with my Super 8 movie camera, even made a war movie. He had a friend who worked at a TV station in Sacramento. He said, I can set you up for a visit there. I got to have an inside look on the operations of the TV news station. hung out with the assignment editor, and then eventually went out with a cameraman. We went to the state capitol. We went in and we shot a story there, and then we went somewhere else and shot something. We got back to the station and then watched the cameraman editor splice the film together with glue and tape and then put it on TV that night. And I do remember I got home that night and I told my parents, I know what I want to do.
I started working with John in TV news more than 40 years ago. I mean, way back in the days when he had a mullet. True story. True story. Over the course of all those years, we had a lot of great adventures, a lot of great experiences covering politics, going to the national conventions and freezing in the New Hampshire primaries.
This is big-time TV show, big-time TV.
And traveling overseas with Schwarzenegger and covering Jerry Brown and his return to the governorship after 28 years.
I've been watching John's work for a long time, and I, from a distance, would admire what a teammate he was with Kevin, and so it was an absolute delight when we became co-workers in Sacramento and I got to be John's partner.
I can't believe it's been 44 plus years that I've been in this business, and I still love every minute of it. Not every minute of it, but a lot of it.
Some of the first big stories I covered with him were wildfires. I'm thinking of the Caldor fire. It was one of those days where the fire was really exploding, and he was watching, just looking at the smoke. He told me, you know, I don't know if we're going to be able to stay here. I think we should move down further because the fire is going to reach us by the time we do our live shot. We moved, and sure enough, he was right, and that fire moved so quick.
One of the things to me that stands out about John is we're always in a pressure cooker.
Okay, what's your one question?
Okay, with a lot of deadlines, we're in every show, we're covering a lot of territory and trying to get a lot done. And somehow John makes friends everywhere he goes.
He's always paying attention and trying to capture those really candid moments between people.
I've always felt like he is part artist and part journalist and has an eye for really seeing detail.
I'm never worried when I'm working with John because I know that he's planning ahead. He knows how to back time his day. He knows how to get it done.
There's no more challenge than being able to sit there and tell a story about something by using visuals and sound and putting it all together in a coherent way.
John has been doing it. That is, getting the job done with a lot of skill and a lot of professionalism for all these years.
I'm so excited that John is getting recognized for his talent and his dedication because he really does deserve this.
I like to say we get a front row seat to history. I know I'll miss it when I step out, and that time will come. I'm not sure how I'll handle it when it happens, but I know it's around the corner. Yes, it's something I really enjoy doing, is talking about myself. It's just not my thing. I like being behind the camera, as you can see. First off, I'm going to just say thank you to the Academy, and thank you to my fellow inductees and previous inductees. Congratulations to you all. And I don't want to be remiss in thanking KCRA and Ariel Roblin, our general manager, for purchasing the table for my friends and family. And then, of course, my lovely wife and my beautiful daughter, because I tell you what, as a photographer, a news photographer in this business, you need a spouse who understands this industry. And she's a former journalist herself, and there are many times she never knows when I'm going to come home at night. I always say, she'll ask, are you off on time? I go, probably not. And as my former colleague Kevin Riggs said, he could attest that he would sometimes call her and say, hey, is it okay if John travels to Israel with me? You know, I know your daughter's only 2, but anyway, so and all my current colleagues, I think the world of them. Great honor to receive this. It's a surprise, and it's kind of surprising. I've heard other people talk about this. I was the nerdy little kid with the Super 8 movie camera, as you saw a little bit of that up there, running around in high school making movies, and just got fascinated with the business because we grew up in a time of Watergate, the end of the Vietnam War, Patty Hearst kidnapping, food riots in Oakland, and my wife remembers all this as she covered stuff, not at that point in time. So we were kind of inspired by good journalism that occurred in those times. And I said, I think that'd be a cool thing to be in. And so that really inspired me to aim towards this business. I've been so fortunate to be a part of it. I really do, what I said in the video, I really believe we have a front row to history. And it's an honor and a privilege that not many people get to experience. And I just, as I say, working with all my colleagues, the best, Juliet, you and I, we'd go up and do live shots in Blue Canyon, and I'd say, offer a live shot to K-Pix. They might take it. I said, that way they'll get to know who you are, see? So, yeah, you're welcome. It worked, didn't it? But anyway, I'm looking at my notes here. It's such a great honor, and I'm thrilled to work in this business. It's been 44 years. I can't believe it's gone by like it has. And I've met so many great people. Kathy Clavey, Mike Murphy, of course, Bill Green, one of my former producers. All these people just mean so much to me. And of course, my buddy Mike Lowry, who's a fellow inductee. So I just, again, want to say thank you all for this. It's an honor. And thank you, Dave, wherever you went to. Oh, there you are, Dave. Thank you for giving me my junior SNG badge that I'm qualified to operate the SNG truck through your tutelage. But thank you all. Appreciate it.
Our next inductee is John's friend, Mike Lowry, who is presented by Nick Janes, president of JCOM, Inc. Nick is an Emmy Award-winning former Sacramento news reporter and anchor with more than a decade of experience in media and communications. His expertise as a storyteller and multimedia content developer drives a dynamic approach to outreach and education. He's leveraged his keen eye for crafting and executing education efforts to serve clients ranging from government agencies to Fortune 500 corporations. He has years of experience in front of and behind the camera. His work has appeared on CNN, CBS This Morning, local media markets across the country. He was also recognized with an Emmy for breaking news coverage, and he's received multiple Emmy nominations. So Nick, welcome.
Mike Lowry. Been watching him for the past, Mike Lowry. Been watching him for the past hour just sweat bullets. Just sweat bullets. He took a drink of his Coors Light, and I think his hand was shaking a little bit. So we'll see what he has for his speech. I got to say, I've known Mike for a real long time. So he's like family to me. I mean, he's one of the first people to find out I was going to propose to my wife. Sitting in a live truck somewhere in who knows where. And he held that secret, by the way. Thank you for that. And you know, one thing about Mike, if there is one thing about Lowry, it's work. This man works harder than anybody I've ever seen. And I always say, like, if any of us work half as hard as Mike Lowry does, then you're doing okay. Because nobody hangs it all out there like Lowry. You know, we had a shoot the other day, and I'm driving down. I had to drop my son off at school, and Mike went ahead of me. And so I'm driving down, and I get a text, and it's a picture of his truck, and half the wheels are visible. He drove into sand, and he got stuck. And he said, you know what he said. And so most people maybe call a tow truck. Most people don't shoot. Mike left his truck. He got out the gear. He got the sunrise. He got all the footage. And it was only until after the shoot was over, hours later, that we took care of the truck. And that's Mike. That's Mike. He always shows up. Started for KOVR a long, long time ago. I mean, we're talking about a career of 30 plus years, 10 Emmys, 5 or so Nextels broken when equipment failed and he chucked them. But we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about the time that he threw away perfectly good ice cream at a McDonald's in Marysville because he was mad. But I will say that it was funny when one of our clients described him as happy-go-lucky, thinking back to some of those memories in the news business. But, you know, aside from the work ethic, Lowry, you make magic with the camera. He has just a God-given gift that when the camera is in his hands, he just makes it happen. And he speaks with the camera. And he always has and he always will. And by the way, there's no dinosaur club, at least with Mike, because he's still doing it. He is the GOAT, and he is still going strong, and it's a beautiful thing to see on a daily basis. I just want to say, life's gotten a little weird after COVID. Things are a little strange in the world right now, and I feel like sometimes it's hard to know what you're going to get day to day. But with Mike, you can always count on an honest day's work, a smile, most of the time, and a few laughs along the way. And there's nothing more beautiful than that. Let's take a look here at Mike's career back through the years and a look forward, because as I said, he's still doing it and still going strong.
It was in 1984 at Modesto Junior College that Mike first became interested in television.
The instructor asked me if I wanted an internship at Channel 13 in Stockton, and figured why not. I ended up quitting school, but I didn't tell anybody that I quit school. And I just continued on with the internship. Everybody still thought I was going to school. And that was kind of the start of my career right there.
Mike would go on to work at KOVR as vacation relief photographer for another year.
So when I first started, I just thought it was cool just to be in television, just to be able to run around in a Channel 13 car and have a camera on your shoulder.
Then in 1986, the station went up for sale and Mike got his first taste of unemployment in the TV industry. He picked up a job as a dayside photographer at a local independent, Channel 31, which had just started up a newscast. Mike felt he was on his way up, sort of.
There was 2 photographers. The nightside photographer quit. And when he quit, it was only me. So I went into the news director's office and I said, so since there's only 1 photographer, does that mean that I get to be chief photographer? And he looked at me, pulled out a coin, tossed it in the air and looked at it, looked at me and said, nope.
Mike enjoyed his time at Channel 31, but was eager to get back to his roots.
So in 1988, I came back to Channel 13, and I stayed there for the next 32 years. Is that right? 1920? Yeah, 31 years.
Mike would go on to cover many local and national events that would shape the world we live in. From devastation to jubilation, from covering the war in Croatia to the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina to Super Bowls and World Series and all major sports.
To be able to see and do stuff that most people only get to dream of, and to be in the front seat of history for the past 40 years is just amazing.
Along the way, Mike picked up numerous awards for his work, including 10 Emmys. His very first Emmy, presented to him by none other than Shirley Temple Black.
That's pretty cool to me.
In 2019, Mike left TV News and went to work for JCOM, Inc., a local media company headed up by his close friends, Nick and Christina James.
They hired me on, and I've been working with them ever since. It's just been fantastic. It's some of the best video that I've been able to produce, and I get to work with my friends.
Mike's biggest and proudest accomplishment throughout his career would be his family, his wife Denise and daughters Megan and Melissa. As far as how much longer he can make it,
I don't know. I think I still got a few more years left in me. Maybe make it into the gold circle. Who knows?
No. Okay. Oh, man. I thought there was a stool there. Can I do the stool?
Do the stool. Yes.
Now I feel important. Man, this is crazy. I never expected this. This stupid kid that was in the video there is standing up here and part of the Silver Circle, and that's just crazy. A fun note, when I was an intern, and then I kind of got enough of it taped together and everything to be able to go out and find a job. My first job interview was with John Breedlove down in Fresno. And that's kind of cool because the whole thing is kind of coming to a circle. I had my first interview with him, then we worked together at Channel 13 for a couple years, and then it's coming back around to where we're both going into the Silver Circle. So congratulations to you. Thank you. And we both sat in the front seat of history. We both had that in the video. Yeah, absolutely. Enough about you. You had your turn. This is my 3 minutes. I'm just kidding. About the video, I just want to let you know that I do have friends. I put that video together. I've never wanted to put my work off onto somebody else, and I hated to say, I mean, Nick's got so much to do, and Chris Pickle, I'm sorry. I know. Saying, we can do it for you, and I'm like, no, I don't need anybody doing this, I'll do it for myself. So I set up 2 cameras and lights and everything, and about 11 o'clock at night, I sat in my living room and pretended to interview myself for an hour. So all of that, I was talking to nobody, I was just talking to myself. I know you would have helped me. So, as far as tracking goes, I didn't want to I can't track it because I'm behind the camera, so AI is great. I put the whole script into AI. I punched up, I want a British professor, and that's what pumped out. So it had a nice little documentary thing going there. But aside from the guests at our table that heard like an hour's worth of roasting of Mike Lowry, I do have friends. There are a couple out there. It's been a wonderful career. It's been great. I mean, I'm not putting an end to it, but it's been great. And I want to give a shout out to the guy. He was in one of the shots. He was, when I got my internship, he was a photographer in Stockton, and he just took me under his wing for no apparent reason at all. But he took me out on stories. His name's Bob Gagnon. He took me out on stories. He showed me the camera. He showed me everything that I was supposed to do. He let me start shooting VOs. And then one day, it was like 9 months into this internship that I wasn't supposed to be at. He came to work on a Monday, and he had his hand all bandaged up in an ace bandage. And Jan Neely, the reporter, says, how are you going to shoot your story today? I don't know what we're going to do. How are you going to shoot the story? And he looked at me and he said, Mike's going to have to shoot it. And that was my first chance. I never knew to this day, or still don't know, because he's passed on and I've never been able to thank him for everything. But I've never found out if he really had a sprained wrist or if that was just his chance to throw me into the fire. But he threw me in there, and it kind of worked out a little bit. Like I said, me and Curtis Ming had a little texting thread going on the other night where he said that he mentioned my commitment to excellence. And I responded with, it's because of people like you that make me who I am. And that's what I've always tried to surround myself with, is excellence. And I feel like that's what I've done with the friends that Stan Peckner, Chris Pickle, Nick, Curtis, Juliet, for a moment there, for a little bit. I've always tried to not let my reporter down. First and foremost, though, was the viewers. I've always felt that the viewers were the most important people that I worked for. They take the time out of their day to tune in to our newscast, and I wanted to always give them the best that I had each and every day. I got a minute here. I mean, I want to keep going. What else can I talk about? I mean, what? I guess I'm done talking. No, I just want to. I want to say that journalism and TV news is having a struggle right now, having a hard time. I don't think that journalism is dead. I don't think TV news is dead. it's taking a nap right now. And it's up to the students that got their scholarships today to revive this industry and to bring it back to where it once was. We can do it. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Thank to Joyce Mitchell. I mean, I've got to work with her since I've left 13 and kind of wandered around a little bit.
It's been wonderful.
And it's been great. I just want to see if they ring the bell again. So I'm just going to keep going and see if they ring the bell. There we go. You guys, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, I want to thank my wife, too. My wife and my kids. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mike, and we can't wait to see you back here for the Gold Circle. And I want to make sure that your family heard, you guys heard the shout out. Yes, it was after the music started, but he did in fact thank his family. All right, you guys ready for Kruk and Kipe? Yes. Yes. They're our last two. Mike Krukow and Dwayne Kipe are presented together as a team because they are such a team, always have been, always will be. Presented by Vern Glenn, who's a wonderful part of the team, Silver Circle class of 2022. So they're not able to be here today, but I'd like to introduce Vern as Mr. Involvement as he comes up here. High energy sportscaster, loves what he does. He always says it's not a job, it's a passion. That attitude has earned him many Emmy Awards, Best Sportscaster 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2022. Mr. Involvement, quite literally, he's thrown himself in the middle of stories. This includes bungee jumping, skydiving, bull riding, boxing, pro football, and then there was that dirt bike crash, so that happened as well. Yep. He's currently a governor with the TV Academy, Mr. Involvement here as well. Turns out he's also an Eagle Scout, so he has always been Mr. Involvement. So he's here now to honor our daring duo who wish we could be here today. But anyway, welcome.
Thank you, Edie. Stool goes everywhere I go. All right. You guys ready to get it? Let's go. All right. So, Mike Krukow and Dwayne Kiper. I cannot believe a punk like me gets to introduce these guys. You might as well just have me introduce a couple of guys on Mount Rushmore. These guys are just great. They've been around for 34 years together, covering the San Francisco Giants, bringing you these games, the analysis. It's just an honor for me to be here. And before I get into my vivid memory of these guys, I just want to say how proud I am of all of the inductees as I go around the room. Some I have worked with. Christine Hansen, I worked with her during a memorable time during the holiday season. Lisa White, so proud of you. Lisa and I were the last of the Al Goldstein hires back in 1990. And look at you. Look how far you have come. Dan Rosenheim, what can I say? Thank you for seeing whatever it is you saw in me, giving me my shot, giving me my platform, and letting me just go. And Scott Warren, thank you for giving a damn for sports at KPIX. This has really, really been something. At my table, Ro, I worked with you forever. It's just there's so many around the room that it just feels natural. It just feels warm to be in front of you all at the Gold and Silver Circle Awards. All right, now. Back to Kruk and Kipe. You know you have made it when you are the butt of their jokes, their ribbing, during a Giants game. That's what happened to me as a ball dude many, many years ago.
Mr. Involvement, I love that guy. He's one of the few ball dudes that we have had where that short stool doesn't affect him at all.
I got this one. Yeah. Look out, Vern. Watch out for your lips there, buddy. Woo-hoo. Vern's taking a beating.
Nothing seems to faze Vern.
Oh, what a night that was. And what a day this is. On-screen chemistry and being able to tell stories and deliver knowledge is very, very important for our viewers. And nobody does it better than Mike Krukow and Dwayne Kiper. They were teammates together with the Giants 1983 to 1985. Krukow, starting in 1986, the first year of the Silver Circle, Mike Krukow won 20 games for the Giants that year. Dwayne Kuiper, in his career, spanning the Cleveland Indians and the Giants, one career home run, but he was a dynamite second baseman. Anyway, I don't want to give too much away because we have this dynamic 6-minute video that kind of tells you their story. But I just want to tell you, before we launch it, this is a prestigious award. We're going to find out in a few weeks because both are finalists for the Ford C. Frick Award, and you win that automatically kicks you into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. And with that, the story of Kruk and Kuip.
I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants have a nice trip. They go 6-1.
The last 14 games, they're 12-2. They're scoring 8.2 runs per game. That's a lot of offense, but you have to do it against an ace. They'll have an opportunity to do it tonight and see how many runs they're going to score tonight. That's what I'm saying.
They're proud of the organization, proud to have been a part of it, and to this day, it still shows. You can't make that up. You can't fake that. And I think the fans know that.
Line to left. Vote. Not a problem. Side retired. It probably started when I was in Cleveland, where I had a radio show every day for 3 years. And then I got to San Francisco. Joe Morgan had a pregame show, and he got traded, and they asked me if I'd like to do that. But I also wanted to continue in the business somehow, being blessed with a decent enough voice and not camera shy. It was kind of an easy transition.
We always knew Kuip was going to be a broadcaster. And sure enough, when he retired as a player in 1985, he went right to the booth.
They're due for another good one tonight.
Well, I think they are, and the one thing that has really caught up with the Giants has been good pitching by their opponents.
After he came to the Giants, he and Mike Krukow became very close friends as teammates, and just for fun, they used to sit and broadcast the games to each other in the dugout.
We would sit there and we would have a broadcast on the bench. Welcome to my world. This is the dugout, this is the clubhouse. If you've ever wondered what goes on here, you're about to find out. We were making stuff up, but never did we ever think that we would be doing it for a living. BB, what are you guys talking about?
We're talking about Will Clark, believe it or not.
You see Kevin Mitchell coming out? Ah! We paid $5,000 to see him lose all that hair. In 1990, when I retired, all their television was scheduled with Joe Morgan and Dwayne Kuiper.
The Giants have been swinging the bat well, as compared to the rest of the league.
And at that point in time, Joe had an opportunity to go to ESPN and do the Sunday night broadcast with John Miller. So I got back into baseball in little bits and pieces, filling in for Joe. Then the next year it was like 40 games, and the next year 70, and then I did them all.
I have not reached my peak yet. I think I'm a smart enough player where whatever I lose age-wise, I'll gain an experience. I foresee Dwayne Kuiper not hitting any more home runs, but I foresee him playing second base like nobody's played it in Cleveland before.
If you just came upon one of his broadcasts, it would never occur to you right off that he was a former player, because he just sounds like a professional broadcaster. To me, he's at the top of the list for any of the former players who've gone into actually becoming play-by-play men.
And he hits one high to deep left field and deep. Hollingsworth is back at the wall. It is out of here, and this one is over. On the ground to Panic. Panic to Posey, and Lincecum has done it again.
I think he's the best former player, play-by-play guy in history by far. It's very unique to be somebody who knows the game like he does as a player, and yet be the play-by-play guy kind of steering the broadcast.
The combination of Mike and I and two former players, I think that was probably close to being the first where an organization just said, here's two former players, just let them go.
Well, years ago, Mike did a rhino yawn, and it's awesome.
We've never had two go off at the same time.
One thing about the two of them is they are willing to not just be funny and have a sense of humor, but they're willing to be mischievous.
You know, sometimes it can get really weird in here.
Watching the festivities as they've started to unwind, these guys are having some fun.
Looks good.
No, it doesn't.
This is going to be a tough play. Sandoval. Yeah, got him.
You know, Mike and I are always very, very close. I know what makes him laugh. He knows what makes me laugh. And if we can put those things together, then generally speaking, we're going to be pretty entertaining to the people at home.
Yeah. Seabiscuit likes beer, that's all I can tell you. With Kipe, I mean, he's my best friend. We've gone through life together. He's just always been a friend who you can call, and we talk every day. It's great to have a friend like that.
Swing and a miss, and that's it! The Giants, for the first time in 52 years, the Giants are world champions. This party is just getting started.
And Bonds hits one high, hits it deep, it is out
7:56.
of here!
We all agree as broadcasters, this is the greatest job that anybody could ever have. So they've never lost sight of that. They're excited to be here. They're always prepared, and they're always focused on what's going on in the game.
You need to pass this story on. Keep this love alive. And when you tell the story, simply tell them, we're the Giants. We're San Francisco.
Broadcasting is the big leagues without the pain, but it's a pretty good gig.
Not a dry eye in the house, huh? You don't have to even be a Giants fan to not appreciate what we just saw. So I am proud to accept on Kruk and Kipe's behalf the Silver Circle Award. I wish they could be here. They wish they could be here. Kruk had a previous engagement, and Kipe, dealing with a medical issue, his oncologist said, you will not be in a crowded room with your immune system as it is. So, again, show your love one more time, Kruk and Kipe.
First of all, I would love to just, on behalf of everyone here, Vern, express our healing wishes to Kipe, and please let him know we are all pulling for him right now. Thanks for sharing that news, and he has just a whole room of good healing energy coming his way, so thank you. And of course, he's going to hate it, but I have got to thank Daryl Compton, our executive director since 1996, who makes all of this happen. Thank you. And with that, I'll bring Brooks and Joyce back up.
Thank you, Edie. Let's hope the rain subsides for the drive home. It looks sunny, and let's hope for pretty weather. It's in the Thank you, everyone. This was absolutely a wonderful, wonderful time. We've laughed. I think we've gotten a little teary-eyed, and we've spread a lot of love around this room.
I think at this time we'd love to get all our Silver Circle recipients up on stage for one class photo. Everybody can raise a glass, and cheers to all of this year's inductees.